time for another ride on the Groove Line, and Happy New Year. This is the first ride of 2026. I'm your host, Chris Stevens. Hopefully you had a good Christmas, a good New Year's, a good Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. But it's a new year. It's our second year. Well, actually, we're still technically in our first because we didn't get started until April. But whatever. We're back. I took a week off just to recalibrate, catch my breath, do all the stuff that I need to do so I can make this show the best that it can be. And again, I'm grateful for everybody that tuned in 2025. 2026 is going to be even better. We're going to still keep the old school reviews flowing. We'll be reviewing newer music as well. More artists and guests and producers and singers and songwriters and folks of that ilk will be on this channel as well. So I'm very excited to share all of that with you. And today, I just thought about how much music I didn't listen to in 2025 because I'm a dude who stays in his old school lane, very defined. Like that's what I do. I'm an old school music lover, and that's basically what this channel is about. But you know, people of all ages listen to music, and they listen to their kind of music, and they listen to the music of today. And I didn't want anybody to feel left out. And of course, there was a few songs that I listened to in 2025. In fact, there's 10 of them. So I'm going to give you today's episode is me giving you guys the my 10 best for 2025. Now, mind you, these are in no particular order. I just put these slides up, and whatever one I click first, that's the one I'm going to talk about. And then we'll just go from there by process of elimination. So no, this is not a top 10 in any stretch. These are just the 10 songs from 2025 that I enjoyed the most. And we're going to start with my dog, Big K.R.I.T. I-20 is one of the tracks from his mixtape dedicated to K.R.I.T. We did a whole review on that on his channel. If you want to check that out, you can go ahead and go through my channel and find that. But yeah, I-20 is just another one of those Big K.R.I.T. cruise classics. Like if you're not familiar with Big K.R.I.T.'s art, his rap, he for the most part, he produces his own stuff. He's in that Memphis, Texas lane, like with 8Ball, MJG, 3 6 Mafia, UGK, Paul Wall and folks in that ilk. And he just responded. He came back as the Big K.R.I.T. that a lot of us fell in love with in like 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, and so on and so forth. Like before Def Jam just totally robbed him and didn't give him the sample budget he needed to put together a legitimate album out the gate for Def Jam. But I-20 is just a great song if you're just going for a ride, whether it's to the grocery store, whether it's going to work, or whether you're ready to get off of work and go home. I-20 is just one of those songs that just, if you are, of Southern heritage, it's just one of those songs that, rattles the trunk, but it's so smooth and you just cruise in, it might be a sunny day or it might be a clear night. It's a song that you enjoy and just listen to K.R.I.T., talk about, riding down I-20, which is a major highway in the Atlanta, Georgia area. He's from Mississippi, but I think he makes his home in Atlanta these days. So that's why I-20 is such a well thought of place and something that people really, gravitate to as, Southerners. Now, this might be the most misunderstood song of 2025. And that's my fault because I misunderstood it. And we're talking about Folded by Kehlani. Now, if you listen to it just on a casual listen, you would think this is a song about, well, being folded or folding someone. I don't think I have to explain to you lovely adults what folding in a, sexual slang manner means. But no, Kehlani is telling this partner of theirs to come get your sugar honey iced tea, your clothes are folded, and get the hell out of here. I had to listen to that song maybe 2 or 3 times before I figured out that, oh, wow, this is actually a breakup song. Here I am putting it on my slow jams playlist, like talking about, yeah, girl, I'm going to fold you tonight. And it's like, no, they're talking about folding your clothes and getting you out of Dodge. And it's like, whew. Yeah, but Kehlani, they have a really good grasp on what it takes to make a good slow jam in 21st century R&B. I have their version of After Hours, the Destiny's Child Cater to You remix on my playlist. And I love that they took the Miniature Menace off of K.R.I.T after he shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot. I was on the Kehlani bandwagon when they showed solidarity with Meg, after she got shot, because Shorty Shoot 'Em Up was originally on that version of K.R.I.T, but not long after he was charged, that version was scrubbed from the internet. And Kehlani, they added a second or third verse. I can't remember, the second or third verse, but it's all them on the newest version of K.R.I.T. Well, the version of K.R.I.T that everybody knows now. So I became a Kehlani fan after after they showed solidarity for Meg. So yeah, so Folded, great song. Don't know if you want to put it on your slow jams playlist if you're trying to start something, but the instrumentation. It's just in a way they sing it. It would lead you to think that it's about being folded or folding somewhat up, but no, it's about your clothes are folded. Come get them. Get out of my life. Or maybe you can fold your clothes up and before you get busy and then unfold them and get dressed and leave. And I don't know, but whatever. Folded is a great song, regardless. Next up on our playlist is this lovely gem from a Chicano band from Southern California called the Altons, Love You Like That. This is a Spotify Discovery Weekly classic. I did not know who the Altons were. I did not know what type of music they played, but I just hit this out of curiosity because it was in my Spotify Weekly Discovery Weekly, whatever you want to call it. And this song, oh my God, it is such a feel-good record. I actually wrote about it on the Grooveline website if you want to go check that out. But I think you could probably describe Love You Like That by the Altons as Santana meets War meets Motown. And it is just a fun record about, loving somebody on a sunny day, doing whatever you can to keep that love fresh and having a good time doing it. So that's a great song. If you haven't heard it, please go listen to it. It is one that I highly, highly recommend. And I need to get into the rest of the Altons catalog as 2026 progresses. One that people probably won't find as a surprise on because it was on a lot of people's list and year-end list. And that's 30 for 30 by SZA and Kendrick Lamar. Obviously, the Switch I Call Your Name sample really does the trick for this one, but SZA and K.R.I.T are basically telling people that, you know what, if it's me, then it's you, and that's the way I like it. We all know what Kendrick Lamar's 2024 was like. That dude literally just put Drake and his cronies on absolute blast. And he never, ducked or dodged any bullets. Like he just kept firing back. And SZA, as being part of a Top Dog Entertainment with K.R.I.T, it's like, of course they were going to make a song together at some point, another one. And this one is basically, SZA talking about chat. Should I, stomp this B out and all of that? Like that's when people started saying chat all the time, which was really annoying. But other than that, it's a great song about, standing resolute, standing 10 toes down and saying, if you don't rock with me, I'll rock with you. And that's fine. And that's the way I like it. The song that is a favorite of mine from 2025, Tyler, the Creator. Now, mind you, I said this when I reviewed Don't Tap the Glass, that I did not listen to a Tyler, Creator project in full until I found out he was doing a sort of like dance album. And Don't Tap the Glass checks all the boxes. Like this song here, Don't You Worry Baby, featuring Madison McFerrin, and we're going to hear from Madison McFerrin more on this particular episode, that it's a great song that it doesn't really have any other aim but to make you dance, even though Madison is really, talking that sweet talk, talking those sweet nothings on the hook and in her verse that Tyler wrote. And it's just a fun record that reminds you of like 80s hip hop, New Jack Swing, R&B, and Tyler didn't miss on this one. I have to go back and listen to the rest of this stuff eventually. But when he put out the Instagram post talking about he was so disappointed that people don't dance anymore, he was like, I'm going to make a record for people who strictly want to dance. And Don't Tap the Glass absolutely checks all the boxes. So, yeah, Don't You Worry Baby, that is one of my favorite songs of the year because Madison McFerrin was absolutely in her bag on that one. And Tyler gave her a really good beat to, as the late Denise Vanity Matthews would say, croon to. The Man I Need by Olivia Dean. Now, I didn't know who Olivia Dean was until I heard this song over and over again on a lot of people's Instagram reels. And I was like, this sounds good. Who is this? And those 30-second snippets, let's keep it a buck. Those 30-second snippets don't get talked about enough in terms of launching new people. I guess that's why, artists kind of make like what people will call TikTok music because people use certain songs for their, dance videos and their, reels and all of that stuff. But people who are music fans, they're going to be curious and they're going to dig deeper. And when I started seeing a lot of people using Man I Need by Olivia Dean for their reels, I was like, this sounds kind of decent. Let me check this out. And sure enough, this is a song about a woman, and she's from Britain, by the way. Hopefully she doesn't, fall into the LMA trap. And this isn't a slight at LMA. This is what I'm saying, that people just like expected, people from Britain to sound different or, than the record or sound as the same as the record or what have you. You know, because Ella Mae's speaking voice is quite different from the one that appears when she sings. And probably the same as goes for Olivia Dean. But Man I Need, it has like, it's very piano heavy. It's very sort of late 80s, early 90s pop. Like this is something I could probably hear Madonna doing, like something that I could possibly hear Mariah Carey doing. And I'm not saying she's the next Madonna or the next Mariah Carey. I'm just saying the beat is something I can hear either one of those two, you know, doing something on. But Man I Need is another one of those songs that was an absolute favorite this year. I did say that Madison McFerrin was going to be back in the countdown. And it's not a countdown. I keep saying that. It's not a countdown. It's just the 10 songs I listen to the most. She was going to be back on this episode. But yes, this is Run It Back from her album Scorpio. And this is a song with jazz and gospel influences about circling the block. It's really that simple. The opening line is, don't you miss the sex just a little bit? Like, this is a woman who says, no, we don't have to be friends. We don't have to be lovers again, but I need that action. And I think that's a 2025 stance in a lot of ways that people are still trying to get used to, and that is women having sexual autonomy. Because there aren't that many women who are going to be open enough to say, you know what, our time as in the relationship sense has passed, but the physical chemistry is still hitting on something. So I'm going to call you, let you know I'm home alone. What are you doing? If you're not doing anything, let's run it back. And I think that's still something that, at least in the heterosexual space, a lot of men are still working through. Women who want sex, because a lot of times we as men look at sex as sort of like something that is sort of like gained or tricked into, which is really weird because consent should be, you know, optimal. And I'm not saying optional. I'm saying optimal, like, you know, important. So when women who sleep with men, I'll say, are like, yeah, I want some of that. Dudes really get turned off because it's like, wow, I'm used to, you know, lying. I'm used to, you know, running game. I'm used to doing all this other stuff. That is everything but just saying, hey, I would like to do this with you. If you are down with that, yes, I would like to. But if you're not, I accept your answer as no. No, a lot of dudes just, it's something that we as men have to have a discussion about the whole, you know, gaming women into sex, you know, lying to get sex, or, you know, pretending to be somebody that a woman would want to have sex with. Like, yeah, it's all very strange. I'm sorry to go off on a beaten path, but that song just reminded me of how, you know, fickle men can be when it comes to the pursuit of women and the pursuit of sex with women. Like, if a woman doesn't want to do it, then she don't want to do it. But if she wants to do it, then you, now let me rephrase it. If a woman doesn't want to do it, oh, she's whack, she's this, she's a prude, you know, she's fronting all of that. But if she does, then she's easy, she's a slut, she's a ABCDEFG, everything but a child of God, right? Yeah, that's something that men have kind of sort of painted ourselves into a corner to, and women don't care anymore. Because if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. And if you don't, somebody will. Just saying. But yeah, Madison McFerrin, Run It Back. The whole Scorpio album was pretty damn good. Probably one of the most slept on R&B projects of 2025. Speaking of R&B hitters from 2025, boy, this song was everywhere. And we learned a lot about Leon Thomas this year, just about how talented he is. Like, we discovered that he was the dude singing the New Edition parts in the New Edition story on BET. But his breakout hit was Mutt. She said, take your time, what's the rush? Ooh. I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. Like, classic. Just, you need hooks to make records that people are going to buy or download or stream or whatever, or add to their TikToks or add to their Instagrams or whatever. But you just don't get something as poppy and as catchy as take your time, what's the rush? I said, baby, I'm a dog, I'm a mutt. Like, again, it's that whole sexual freedom thing. Like, yeah, I mean, the woman wants it, but she's like, just slow down. And he's like, I can't help myself. You know, I'm just a dog. Why must I be like that? Why must I chase the cat? You know, that type of thing. So yeah, you know, we learned a lot about Leon Thomas this year, his talent, and, you know, how deep his talent goes. And Mutt was just vehicle for people to be driven to the entire Leon Thomas experience, which is a pretty damn good experience from what I've heard so far. Still got some more digging to do, but yeah, Mutt, a great, great song. Hopefully, that's not the last we hear of Leon Thomas. The reason I didn't mention that it had a remix by certain R&B stars because I don't fool with that R&B star. Everybody was like, well, the remix, oh man, he got this person on the remix. I don't like him, and I don't want him remixing the song. So that's why I chose the original version of Mutt. There, you have it. Now you want to talk about, oh my God, this song right here, Miss Goody Two Shoes by Alex Isley. Boy, 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 boy. This is an Alex Isley Stan account. Make no mistake about it. If you guys are not familiar, this is Ernie Isley's daughter, Ron Isley's niece. And she's been putting out great music for a while, but she recently signed to Warner Records, and they put out her major label debut. It was a 6-song EP called Win. And this song, Miss Goody Two Shoes, Lord have mercy. If you have ever experienced the splendor of a woman who seems to be really, all business, buttoned up, she goes to work, she cleans house, she takes care of her kids if she has them. She doesn't seem like the wild out type. Then you listen to Miss Goody Two Shoes, and she's talking, and Alex, here she is, she's talking about it's immaculate and it's magic. Thank you, lucky stars. I'm gonna let you have it. As a man, you should be excited about that. Like she's saying, this is something that, I mean, and guys would, make that joke, oh, she says she don't do this often, blah, 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 blah. But, Alex Isley basically saying, like, this ain't for everybody. So if I'm giving it to you, consider yourself lucky. And those type of women are just like the ones that honestly are the most incredible, bar none. Not even from like a physical perspective, just like an overall, personality, intelligence, character. When women, let that guard down and let it down for you, you would be a fool to just, poo-poo the significance of that. That's why I think like that part right there when she says, yes, it's immaculate and it's magic. Thank you, lucky stars. I'm gonna let you have it. Like she knows that what she has is special. And you as a man need to be grateful that she's sharing that specialness with you. So yeah, just go listen to the whole Win EP from Alex Isley. You won't be disappointed. Miss Goody Two Shoes is the favorite just because, Lord, like I said, anytime a woman says that to you, it's immaculate and it's magic. Thank you, lucky stars. I'm gonna let you have it. Good times. Very good times. And last but certainly not least, of course, we had to have at least one more hip hop joint on here. And this is one that has been leaked before, but we didn't get to hear the full version, of course, because Universal, UMG was so freaked out that Kendrick was on it that they said, no, we can't release this. And the clip said, well, bump y'all, drop us off your label. And that turned out to be one of the biggest mistakes Universal has made because, of course, Let God Sort Him Out is probably one of the top records, not just in rap, but overall of 2025. And Chains and Whips figured prominently into that because it was, Malice and Push back on record together, and they had Kendrick in the mix. But what I like the most about Chains and Whips was the Tiny Desk performance because Push never blinked, not one damn time. That man didn't blink one time when he looked into the camera and said, you run from the spirit of repossession. Too much enamel covers your necklace. He's like, your stuff is fake. Everything about you is fake. And, you chasing a feature out of your element. There's no tombstones in the desert. I know by now you get the message. Chilling. Whew, Lord. And then Pusha talking about John 10:10. I had to go look that up. Apparently that is a verse about, undoing the damage of destructive people. So it's like they're coming back to restore the feeling of rap again. And Chains and Whips and Kendrick talking about, y'all want the tea on me? Well, here's the ginger root. Just the whole G pattern, the whole G scheme in that rhyme in Kendrick's verse is just like, whew. That's why he considers himself the GOAT. And at this point in time, I mean the best right now. And at this point in time, you will get no argument from me on that behalf. But the entire Let God Sort Him Out album is great. I didn't put Birds Don't Sing on here because, it just makes me emotional. Because, I mean, You know, this is a song about those dudes losing both of their parents. And I'm trying to face the fact that my mother is aging. Like, she's not aging rapidly, but I mean, I looked up one day, my mom is 71. I'm just like, damn, when did that happen? But that's life. We all, if we're blessed, we all get old at some point. We just do. And I just think about that part where Malice said, chivalry wasn't dead, you wouldn't let her go alone. It's like, after his mom died, because his dad died, their dad died after their mom died. And for him to say it like that, you know, I knew chivalry ain't dead, you ain't let her go alone. It was like, whew, got me emotional talking about it. So let me go ahead and get back to Chains and Whips, get back to the hardcore essence. But yeah, Chains and Whips is just one of those nasty records. It sounds kind of like No Church in a While. If you remember when Hove and Kanye were the Throne and they did No Church in a While with Frank Ocean, that beat sounds kind of No Church in a While, which is why Push really is talking like, you know, greasy on that record. And, you know, Malice is still very malicey, even though he's given his life to Christ. But yes, those are the 10 songs that I listened to the most that came out in 2025. I'll have a better list at the end of 2026 because, again, we are really going to push this groove line thing to the hilt. I am going to review new music. I'm going to keep doing old school stuff, and I'm going to interview old school artists, and I hope to interview current artists on this channel as well. So that's where we are right now. This is a brand new thing. I'm excited about it. I mean, well, it's not brand new. We've been around since April, but the response since we started in April has been incredible, and I'm eternally grateful for y'all embracing, you know, just the dude who loves talking about music. We're going to have fun. And think about all the anniversaries this year. When you think about what the music that came out in 1966, 1976, 86, 96, even to a lesser extent, 2006. And then when we start talking about the 25th anniversary, 2001, we all know what happened in 2001. I mean, some great music came out that year, but we all know what happened in the fall of 2001. 35th anniversary, 1991. There's some good music there. So we got a lot of music to discuss this year, and we're going to have fun doing it. So thank you all for tuning in, coming back, and let's start the year off, man. Let's have some fun. So thank y'all for riding with me on this ride on the Groove Line. Greatly appreciate y'all as always. Contact information will be in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that notification bell so you're notified of all the new videos that drop on this channel. And again, I usually drop 3-4 times a week, so you don't miss much. And don't forget to like and comment on the videos. What were the songs from 2025 that you listened to the most? Would love to hear from you. Would love to talk about it in the comments. So until the next time we ride, and let me get off here because my throat is sounding kind of scratchy. But until the next time we ride here on the Groove Line, may you find the groove, or may the groove find you.